This show is produced by the Harwood Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harris. We love making this show available to you free of charge. If you'd like to help us keep it that way, you can make a contribution to our Karma Jar. For more information, visit our website. Hey there, everybody. I'm here with today's featured guest, Victoria George.
Welcome to Live from Bay 6.
But there's a few things I need to say. What I've learned since I left that day. You should know how often I think of you. We're not strangers, are we? Can I come in, baby? I lost my way, but I found it. Let me come home to stay.
Tell me where the song Lost My Way came from.
The song Lost My Way came originally from a melody that I had been throwing around in my head in Nashville. And it's not like a personal experience. It was sort of an exercise in putting myself in a character's position. And I kind of created the storyline of, I guess it's kind of the classic, like, I left you and I think I made a mistake. But in sort of a sweeter, I'd like to think sweeter, and I kind of matured a little bit, and I did some things I needed to do on my own, and kind of came full circle, and here I am knocking on your door.
She does sort of redeem herself, I will say that. She doesn't just like split to find herself kind of thing, and she's learned a thing or two, and she's a better partner for it, right?
Right. Well, and that is sort of what she's campaigning for.
So where are you from originally?
I'm from a little town called Fairfax.
Not too far from here.
Yeah, in Marin County, a little hippie town.
And what was that like growing up there?
Fairfax is cool. There's a lot of cool history that comes out of Marin, kind of the vestiges of the 60s and 70s and all those great bands. And I felt like Fairfax was a pretty organic, natural place to grow up. There's a lot of creativity, I think, happening there. And my family was very creative, and it just so happens like my medium was music. Both my sisters are artists, and my mom's an artist, and my dad has a really interesting aesthetic, and we were always encouraged to create, and it just so happened my medium and kind of what I created was music and performing, and I think Fairfax was kind of a cool kind of place to make a foundation for that.
What type of music were you listening to back then?
I listened to a lot of the radio. That's how I got most of what I wanted to hear. I listened to like I remember loving Sheryl Crow, like early Sheryl Crow. When I went to school, I went to college on the East Coast, and that's when I really decided that I wanted to do music in a serious way. That summer after my first year, I came home and I discovered the Joni Mitchell album Blue, and that album kind of changed me and really inspired me, and I kind of had like a direction after that. And you don't really hear that off of the radio, but and still I hear stuff off the radio and I pluck kind of what I want to investigate. But for the most part, I mean, I listen to a lot of like older music that seems to be kind of what I go back to.
So when did you write like your first song?
I wrote my first song, in college. I had gotten a guitar after my first year for my birthday, and I had taken it back to Virginia with me. And I was taking some classes through the university and getting credit for them. And so I knew a couple chords, and it was kind of, it's like, if you're a painter and you only have like 4 colors, you still like paint something with those 4 colors. So I would take my little couple chords that I would learn, and I would kind of create a little ditty out of them.
So you chose guitar. What made you choose guitar for your instrument?
I guess because it was easy to travel with it,
right.
And all the people that I seem to connect with musically based on guitar, singer-songwriters based on guitar. And I was trying to write music with other people through school, like people I had, friends of friends, hey, so-and-so's got a band, you should go hang with them. And I just remember sitting in these rooms like with other dudes, and they were just kind of like, like, and it was like, this is not what I want to do. So I realized I had to do it myself. Like, I couldn't just sit here and say, no, that's not what I'm hearing, and you're kind of like, got this like wanky guitar solo that you're trying to put into this song.
We dudes can be that way. I'm sorry, but
And I'm like, it's not what I want. I don't want it to sound like that. So, and I think it's sort of hard to talk about what you hear. Articulate like why hear, especially when you're a newbie at all this, because your vocabulary even or just how you would describe it is so rudimentary.
Yeah. Why don't you just tell me it was a 4-chord?
Right,
thing.
exactly.
Like,
and I'm like, I don't even know what a 4-chord was, So I just decided, like, you know what, this is going to be way less painful if I just do it myself. So I just picked up the guitar, and that's where it came from.
So with this next song, Someone You Used to Know, where did this one come from?
Again, kind of an exercise, like putting myself into a character's life. And, I think a lot of people can relate to sort of having a friend or a love interest or a relationship that changes like overnight, and you're kind of left going, what the heck happened? You know, like, and you can feel that it's changed, but you don't know why. And so I was trying to sort of talk about that feeling and that experience, and hoping that I could kind of strike a chord and have someone relate to it, and kind of a pretty moment. And I think, you know, the point of the song when you get to the end is that, you know, honestly, you don't need those kind of people, and you get to the point where it doesn't hurt anymore. You hear their name, and you know that little tinge of pain is gone.
Because everybody always thinks, oh, I'm never going to get over this kind of thing.
Right, and I think that's just a part of, you know, that natural kind of evolution of going through a little bit of heartache. And it could be, it could be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. You know, I think being 30 years old now and having had lots of relationships in my life, I think I've had that experience where people change and you're kind of like, whoa. So that's kind of where it came from, just trying to pull something out of the ether that people can relate to. And I was writing a lot in Nashville, and I think that little guitar part came to me first. It's funny what comes first. You know, sometimes it's melody, and I'm driving in my car and I'm like looking for my iPhone, trying to find and turn the memo part on without killing myself or someone else.
But officer, I was writing a song.
Officer, you've got to hear this. And then sometimes it comes just from noodling around the guitar and coming up with something that I think is kind of cool, and that was a guitar-led inspiration.
Things have changed and you're sure it isn't you. One day you're seen and next you're seen right through. Do you keep a light on burning hole when you're someone they just used to know? So now you're just a casualty, a light on in a city that don't sleep. You wanna rest but your heart is burning. You gotta say what's on your mind. Write a letter, rewrite it 5 times. Listening, just letting go when you're someone they just used to know. And you smile 'cause you know you moved on.
So you spent a lot of time writing in Nashville. Do you think you came away with a little bit different perspective than a lot of singer-songwriters?
Yes. I mean, I think there's so much to be learned in a place like Nashville. It's like going to LA to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
What I found about going in day after day and writing, you know, sometimes you're thrown in a room with complete strangers and you're supposed to come out with something that is interesting and fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and sometimes it's kind of an awkward experience, and then sometimes it's great and it works right away. Trying to prove myself to those who booked me or those who I'm writing with, like, you kind of have to come to the table with something to add or a story like, hey, I was thinking about this kind of hook, and but the majority of it, I think, is kind of like how an actor sort of finds a character and then, you know, figures out what that character would say.
Inhabits that.
And like what space that person's heart is in or their head or whatever it is, and kind of trying to pull like, oh, this person's really sad. This person's lost someone. What does that look like? What is, you know, visually and emotionally, and, you know, really flesh it out. I think that's what makes good songs. You know, all those like little details. And that's you know, Nashville is a pretty amazing place. It's also a really difficult place it's a tough nut to crack, as they say. And you know, I keep going back and connecting there because I think there's so much to glean from that experience.
So what is your life like these days?
My life these days is we're expecting our first child in April, a little girl. And so my life, a lot of my mind space has been taken up by just, you know, preparing.
Anticipation.
Yeah, anticipation, preparing for what that will entail, because honestly, I don't really know. I mean, everyone sort of tells you, but I think
You're never going to know until
you don't know until it's yours and, you know, you've done it. So I fully intend to keep doing music and to keep kind of pushing the ball up the hill and writing. I do better as a busy person, I found. I don't know if that's because I'm an artist, and artists can find themselves like for hours, just you've been sitting in the same place, you're still in your pajamas, you're still, you know.
I should probably take a shower.
I should probably take a shower and brush my teeth.
Thursday?
Yeah, ooh. Yeah. So I'm hoping that it'll be kind of a shift in a great way.
So even as of right now, how do you allot time for what you do?
Well, I go to Nashville, and that's kind of been because when I'm here, I do a lot of music here too, but I find that I'm working or I'm getting ready for baby or all the leg work that you do in your normal existence.
How often are you back and forth to Nashville?
I go back to Nashville probably every 2 months for about a week, 10 days. And it's so nice because it's not a vacation because I'm working there. It really is a space that is really creative, and I just throw myself into. I don't have a lot of my normal day in, day out stuff to deal with there.
Right.
You know, I kind of prepare for that and then head out, and so it's wonderful. I mean, it's like me and writing and guitars.
It's a real writer's world, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how many albums do you have in your catalog right now?
I have 3. Okay. 2 of them are EPs. I have Far As I'm Concerned, which was my freshman effort, as they say. And then I've got a full-length LP that I put out a year later, so that's called Victoria George, and that's a full-length. May of last year, 2011, that was called Lately I, and that's what the songs that we did today are off of that
3 of those.
EP.
Yeah. So if people want to get a hold of these tunes, where do they go?
They can go to my website, which is victoriageorgemusic.com. And there's a store attached to my website. And then, and I believe there's a link to iTunes, or you can go right to iTunes. It's all on iTunes. Just look up Victoria George.
So that makes 2 of us, the song. Tell me where that one came from.
That came out of living in Nashville, having just been married, and just the transition of being married and not fighting, but having some disagreements and kind of figuring out the best way to communicate. There's a line in there that says, got to find a different way of saying what we're going to say without raising our voice. And I think that, so it's somewhat personal, but then again, it kind of, I took sort of personal experience and then took that to the drawing board with another writer in Nashville, and That Makes Two of Us came out of it. So I was, I think it's kind of your classic thing, and I think people, it's a lot of work to stay connected and get back in touch, and I think, listening to songs or making time and having a glass of wine or a cup of tea or whatever pick your poison together is a really important thing. So that was kind of what the song was talking about.
I don't wanna fight no more. Can't take one more slamming door, baby. We gotta make a choice. Find ourselves another way of saying what we're trying to say without raising the voice. This time is precious and it's passing us by. We gonna sit here, watch this love die. I said, baby, oh, let's pour ourselves a glass of wine, and let's remember all the good times. Yeah, baby, we'll get back in touch. It's been a long time, yeah, since we played those records with our favorite songs. And it's on light in your arms if you want to fall back in love. Well, baby, 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 that makes two of us. I don't want a heavy head, sleep alone on my side of the bed, across that battle line. I wanna wake up holding you every day brand new. Morning sunshine, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me, darling, you don't wanna give up. Now I'll tell you that makes two of us. I said, baby, hey, yeah, let's pour ourselves a glass of wine, and let's remember all the good times. Yeah, baby, we'll get back in touch. It's been a long time, yeah, since we played the records with our favorite songs. And it's on light in your arms if you want to fall back in love. Well, baby, 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 that makes two hearts beating, two hearts on fire. Come on, baby, let's burn a little brighter. Come on, baby, I said, baby, oh, let's pour ourselves a glass of wine. Let's take a moment in time. We'll get back in touch. It's been a long time, yeah, since we played those records with our favorite songs. And it's on light in your arms if you want to fall back in love. Well, baby, 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 that makes two. Yeah. Baby, 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 that makes two of us.
Well, that's our show for today. We'd like to thank our special guest, Victoria George, for coming by and playing her great tunes with us. We had a fantastic time with her. If you'd like to find out more information about Victoria and how to get a hold of her terrific music, go to our website and go to the Live from Basics show page, and we'll have all the information right there for you. Well, that's it for us. We're out of here.